see you again. I hope you're well. Things at FINDRA have been really busy lately, so we're a little bit behind on our vlogs and haven't done a September vlog. So grab a cuppa and get comfy and tell you all about it. It's actually one of my favourite things, doing these vlogs, because it's really interesting to look back and realise just how much happens in a short space of time at FINDRA and just what we do as a small team and what we get through. So I really enjoyed documenting. So at the start of September, I was really fortunate to be able to attend the Pathways Forward Female Founders Growth Summit, which was held at RBS Gogarburn. Pathways Forward is all about helping more women in Scotland grow and scale their businesses. It came out of the Pathways report, which was led by Anna Stewart and Mark Logan, and that really shone a light on how few women-led businesses receive investment. It's something like, it is tiny, it's 2% of all investment raised every year, 2% of it goes to females. I'm a great believer that I kind of take this approach in FINDRA, that if you see yourself, if you can see other women doing amazing things in the outdoors, you can see other women building amazing businesses and succeeding, and you can see yourself, then you feel that that is a place that you are part, you belong, that you can be part of that. So it's really, really important to shine a light on what these women are doing. The night before the summit, I was invited to a Women in the Arts Meets Women in Entrepreneurship dinner at Greyfriars Hall in Edinburgh. And Nicola Benedetti, CBE, played a few incredible pieces on her violin and then chatted with Judy Murray, OBE, about creativity, confidence and leadership. Two really incredible women in conversation, and it was a completely inspiring evening and such a privilege for me personally to be in that room with incredible women and to be sitting there listening to the conversation by these two well-known women who have achieved so much in their own right. And that, as I say, was a highlight. But from there, like we always do in FINDRA, we're always working on not just what's happening right now, but we're also always thinking about the future. We have to work on product development quite far in advance. We are currently working on Spring Summer 26 because we're launching a new range of products, which is really exciting. And so I met up with Donna, our product developer, and we met up in Aviemore at Glenmore Lodge. We had a great day there. It was an absolutely beautiful autumnal day, and it was really lovely to get out at lunchtime and go for a walk through the woods and the forest up in Aviemore and at Glenmore Lodge. And it's such a lovely space, such a lovely place. So that was fun. And I went on from Aviemore up to Inverness and then across to Ullapool for something that was just such a great experience for me. You might have read my blog about resilient leadership, and that's because I went on a resilient leadership expedition. And the expedition was led by the fantastic team from Ocean Vertical, Stevie and Molly. And the purpose of the expedition was to bring a small group of entrepreneurs and business leaders together, to get them away from their desks and their laptops and out of the business, and to spend a few days in the wilds of Assynt, which is north west of Scotland, to explore together what resilience and leadership really mean. So we were based at Achmelvik Bay, and our goal, our sort of mission for the 3 days was to climb Suilven, one of Scotland's most iconic mountains. And it was such a fantastic experience. And I have to say, for me, I jumped at the opportunity to do this trip, but also felt quite a lot of apprehension because Suilven is quite mountain, and I cycle more than I mountaineer. So I was certainly quite nervous about the whole thing. and worried, a little bit worried if I'm honest, that maybe, when the negative thoughts come in and you start to doubt yourself, I got a little bit worried that could I do it? Could I really climb that mountain? Was I going to be holding everyone back? Was I going to be the slowest in the group? Was I going to spoil it for everyone? And I guess even though I had all of those thoughts, I still really wanted to do this trip. And part of what unfolded was that probably most of us were thinking those things. So the first night we arrived, we got settled and we went for a walk over some of the sort of rocks of Innerleithen Bay. And we'd done that as a group, and we sat and had a chat just before the sun started to set. And in the distance, you could see Suilven, and even from where I was sitting, it looked quite daunting. It's a big mountain, and the shape of it is big, and it's very impressive. And I just sat there thinking, what have I done? Have I bitten off more than I can chew? Can I really do this? And Molly Hughes, who is with Ocean Vertical, who was one of the leaders of the expedition, talked to us about her book called Breathe. And Molly talked about some of the expeditions that she has undertaken and how in those moments where that self-doubt creeps in, I think she could read all of our minds actually, because it was almost as though she knew that everyone was looking at that mountain and that challenge that we had the next day and thinking, I'm not sure I can do this. Because she shared with us that in the moments where she's had some, that doubt has crept in, those negative thoughts have started to sort of overtake her thought process. She has learned how to master positive affirmations and those positive lines that she has in her head, that she reminds herself of, that she can do it and that she is very capable. And one of them that she uses is that she's a badass. So she tells herself, I am a badass and I can do this. And it was a very big climb. It was right until I got to the foot of the bottom of the mountain, the bottom of Suilven. There was a 2-hour walk to get you there. And if you've read the blog that I have done around this, on that 2-hour walk to get to the bottom of Suilven, I kind of felt like it was quite similar to how it's been in business for the last 11 years. You can see the goal in front of you, but the path to get there isn't always straightforward, and at times you feel you're never going to get there, but you keep going. And the kind of overall thing was you just put one foot in front of the other and you keep going. And that's what we done. And we got to the top of Suilven. It was an incredible climb. It was an incredible feeling to get to the top of it with that lovely group of people who I shared that experience with. And when we had our lunch there, and then we all had some little drams, and Dave from Charlotte Street Partners read out a little poem, and it was just something that I'll remember for forever. So a really lovely experience, and one that enabled me to just go back to myself and think, right, I done that. I didn't think I could do that. I was worried about doing that. I, didn't know how that path was going to unfold, but I just put one foot in front of the other. I got there, and that was my big takeaway, was that that's something that I know that I've kind of got to use, that sort of, analogy in business, that I can see where I want to get to, but I don't always know the path that's going to take me there. But by putting one foot in front of the other and staying focused and keeping focused on the vision, we do get there. So, fantastic experience. Not only did we climb the mountain, but we went wild swimming in Innerleithen Bay waters, which was incredible. I came home feeling calmer and genuinely re-energised and ready for whatever mountains come my way. So whilst I was in Aston, things were, as always, busy back here in Innerleithen, and we were busy getting ready for the Innerleithen Open Studios weekend, which is a great celebration of local creativity. The event brings together artists and makers from across the Tweed Valley, and this year there were over 40 different artists taking part, with work displayed in studios and galleries and venues all around Innerleithen, Walkerburn and Square. So it was great that all of those places were brought together, and we absolutely loved being involved. It's always such a nice positive buzz seeing the cafe filled with lots of creativity and colour. People really enjoy it, and it's grown each year. The event has got larger and larger, which is brilliant, and a real credit to the people that are involved in setting that up and running it. So great fun to be part of that, and for me just really important that FINDRA on the High Street in Innerleithen is such an important part of the community. For me, it's about bringing the community together, and that creativity and connection and supporting local talent is a big part of what we are all about and what we really enjoy. That was September, and there's quite a lot happened. And then, if that wasn't enough, so myself and my 3 sons, who all work at the cafe, were invited to take part in the next series of Jules and Greg's Wild Swim. So if you haven't heard of Jules and Greg's Wild Swim, it's a fantastic celebration of life as well as wild swimming. And the 2 hosts of it are Jules Nemo and Greg Hempel. So they go around various parts of Scotland, meet up with people to go wild swimming and have a good old chat and a good old blether basically. And it was just really fun, a really fun experience. And it was such a brilliant day and such a lovely reminder of what FINDRA's all about. You should be able to see that next year in season 3, which we think will be available to watch end of February, start of March, but I'll keep you posted on that. But fantastic opportunity. So after all that excitement and busyness and going around the country doing outdoor adventures, it was very, very hectic. And so I've also taken a little bit of time out, as in getting outdoors, getting out into the beautiful landscape around the Tweed Valley, because this is my favourite time of year and it's just so beautiful. The light, the golden colours, it feels like it's your last chance to bathe in this golden light before the darkness of winter descends. And for me, it's really, really inspiring. And it feeds into my design work. It inspires that connection to nature and creativity. And another person that was very inspired by that, who also inspires me, is Bernard Klein, the world-renowned textile designer who made the Scottish Borders his home, and his work captured the landscape beautifully. So myself and friend of FINDRA, Stuart Wilson, who's also known as the Tweed Valley blogger, recorded a little vlog over there in Selkirk, and you can see that on our YouTube channel. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that, you can have a look at that video. So hopefully you enjoy listening to these vlogs, and if you want to hear a bit more from me personally, some behind the scenes chats about my life as a female entrepreneur, as a creative person, my family, my life in the outdoors, I've started my own channel. So we'll put a little link in to the description below. But that's pretty much it. I've got one more thing actually. So I need to confirm that our winner of our merino neck warmer is Sue Hopiana. So thank you very much. Bill will be in touch, Sue. And thank you again to the Jackies for leaving comments. It's great that people leave comments because we put a lot of effort and love into these vlogs. So it just is great when people let us know that they're enjoying them. But that's all from us, and thank you so much for being a part of our community. Have a great week and enjoy the rest of autumn, and we will see you probably in a few weeks, because we need to get caught up and we'll be doing November very soon. So yeah, take care. Bye for now.